once you're free to, be whoever you want to be in the game, it helps you kind of sink into that character.
It's a cool way to be to, attract those like-minded people.
Something nerdy is going to happen. And we're going to make it cool, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talkin Nerdy on Outside of the Box. And we have another Twitch streamer feature this week, and I am talking to the Divinity of Ivory, who is a wonderful streamer and just a lovely person. So welcome to the show, Ivory.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Yes. So I have kind of a spooky background because I think you like to play some of the more spooky kind of games, if I'm recalling correctly.
I do. Recently I've been playing The Mortuary Assistant, and it definitely gets the heart rate going, for sure. And I don't handle spooky well, but I enjoy spooking myself. I enjoy scaring myself. For some reason, it's the weirdest thing. My mom is the same way, where we just love scaring ourselves. We'll watch scary movies together, So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it reminds you that you're alive, right?
Exactly. You get the heart rate going, and it's like, okay, I could do anything. I could lift a car right now because it's just full of adrenaline. But yeah, it's fun. I'm having so much fun with it.
Well, that's great. Now, as I always like to ask, because I think it's important for people that might want to watch your stream to know like how you got started. So what has that journey been for you as far as streaming goes?
It actually started a couple years ago. I probably want to say in 2022, where I had gotten the idea of wanting to stream because my sister had sent me a clip of this really funny dude who was acting goofy and whatnot, and it was Cal. She sent me a clip of Cal, and I was like, that looks a lot like a lot of fun. And once I got into Cal's community and was surrounded by so many amazing, kind, and generous people, I was just like, I love the community that he's built, and that's something I want for myself. I want to build a community like that. But I didn't officially start streaming until 2023. It was in May, and I remember my first ever stream. I was like so jittery. I was so nervous. And but it was so much fun. It was like that adrenaline rush. It was just like and then I started having people from Cal's community talking in chat. And I was just like, this is fantastic. Like, this is giving me a sugar rush kind of thing. Like, this is great. I'm having so much fun. I get to play. I think my first ever stream I was playing Satisfactory, which is like a resource management kind of thing. It was super fun. But I was like, I want to do this more and more. And I ended up like leaving it for a little bit just due to work problems or work issues and scheduling conflicts and all of that. And then I got back into it in April. And I remember just grinding it out like 8 days in a row at one point. I was like, this is great. Like, I never want to stop this. But it all started when my sister sent me that clip of Cal. I can't even remember what it was he was doing, but he was being so silly. He was laughing. And I was like, that's a guy you want to be around. That's a guy you want as your friend, right? So, and I've just been so blessed to have friends like that and to be a part of this community and to be able to do things like this. Like, this is incredible. I never imagined that it would be like this. So I'm so blessed with the friends that I have and the friends that I'm going to continue making throughout my journey.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting that you mention about like starting to stream and kind of having that anxiety, because people would probably be surprised to know that when, recently myself and my partner decided to, start streaming and stuff, and I get very nervous about it because, podcasting is a different thing. Like, you have a person that you're typically talking to and you're having a conversation. And I can have conversations with people. That doesn't intimidate me at all. But
Right.
when you just have a chat room that may or may not have anyone in it, and you have to try and like engage and, you know, be like exciting. And I'm just like, am I being cool right now? Because like I don't feel like I'm being cool, and I want.
Yeah,
It's a whole different dialogue that goes on in your head.
absolutely. Yeah. My biggest thing was kind of the same thing. It was like when I first started, was how am I going to fill those random silences that happen? Like, how am I going to be engaging and charismatic and, you know, and just fun to watch when those random silences happen? And it's like, the more I streamed, the more I realized you don't have to. You don't have to fill those silences. Sometimes a nice, comfortable silence, even in like the middle of a conversation, it's natural. So my first streams were just me like talking constantly, just talk, because I was just scared of the silences. And like I was scared that there was going to be someone on the other end watching this going, oh, she's not entertaining at all. You know, she's just sitting there in silence. And it's like, you know what? Now it's like I don't have a problem with that. I can lull into silence if I'm focused on something, or if I'm just, you know, thinking of what to say next. You know, I allow those silences. You know, you don't have to fill them. But yeah, that was my biggest thing, was how am I going to do that? And now it's like, I don't have to.
Well, and the other thing is too, I think that the more you build your community and you actually get people who regularly come into your streams, we haven't experienced that yet, so I don't know what that feels like, but
I'm manifesting it for you guys. I'm manifesting it. I know it's gonna happen.
But I feel like it would be easier if you have people, you know, like you have 15 to 20 people that are, you know, talking back and forth in the chat that you can engage with versus like nothing.
yeah, no, and that's like I said, when I first started, I was already part of a community of people that were, you know, supporting me. So I was lucky with that regard. But yeah, and it's nerve-wracking when you're sitting in front of your computer and there's nobody talking, and it's like, well, like, what do I do? Like, what, I just got to come up with something. So it's definitely nerve-wracking, and it's awkward to kind of steer away from. But again, like it's gotten to the point where it's like, I don't have to fill the silences. If no one's talking, then that's fine. You know, eventually someone is going to come in and they're going to start engaging, and then I can re-engage with chat as well. So like, I'm not too worried about it anymore, which is good.
Yeah, maybe no one scared people away with all of the talk of like murdering me in the parking lot, low key. You know, maybe that was what it was.
Oh, maybe, yeah, they'll just come in and go, oh my God, this guy's psycho.
Now, speaking of scary things, you know, going back to the types of games that you like to play, you know, I know that what you play is not limited to that, but kind of talk about the variety of games that you typically stream and like why you gravitate towards those things.
My favorite type of genre of video game is survival crafting. So I like a lot of like Subnautica, Minecraft, you know, Satisfactory was kind of survival because there were things on the planet that wanted to harm you. So that's my favorite genre. And anything where I'm able to build is something that I love. So like City Skylines and going back to Minecraft, I've been on a Minecraft kick lately. Just playing it nonstop for like the past 3 days. But I also do like the spooky aspect. Subnautica was scary. I played both games, but I only streamed Below Zero, and Below Zero was by far like the least scary of the two games. But I love that aspect of you have to survive, you have to build, you have to craft, you have to you know, just try and survive as long as you can. So I do enjoy those games. But I also played games that were like survival, not survival crafting, but survival level, like Stray. Stray was spooky. And then the mortuary system obviously is very scary. Other than that, but I also do enjoy like the cozy games. I do enjoy like maybe playing Stardew Valley or playing, I played Tavern Keeper. Tavern Keeper was good. Tavern Keeper was like another resource management, kind of like Stardew, kind of like, what is the other one? not Harvest Moon, but there was another one that was similar to what Tavern Keeper was, but you were Tavern Keeper. But I'm very organized as well. So I like organizing my things. In Minecraft, all of my chests are labeled. Everything has its own proper place. For Tavern Keeper, I think I had an Excel sheet for all of my inventory stuff. So those are kind of the games that I love the aspect of trying to survive. So whether it's surviving monsters, whether it's surviving my own stupidity as I dive off a cliff or something, those are my kind of games. I like building, I like crafting, I like survival, I like a little bit of horror as well. But if it like makes me cry, I'm not going to play it, because I've played Still Wakes the Deep and I cried and it was not great. But I'm huge on survival crafting and survival building games as well. So.
Well, if you like building and you like games that are low-key scary, even though it's not supposed to be scary, maybe you should jump into Contractville.
Maybe I should. I was lurking in your guys' streams a couple of times, and it's just like, I like the aspect of being able to pack up your car and pull it all out and do all the building stuff. But yeah, I don't think I have someone that would, I don't think any of my friends would threaten to kill me behind a building. Maybe, I don't know. You know.
Well, maybe you need to jump into a co-op game with us and protect me and make sure that he doesn't do anything when I'm not looking.
You're just walking, I'm walking backwards right behind you. It's just like, you don't even, I see you. I'm the eyes in the back of her head.
Exactly. Now, speaking of the co-op, I think, one of the more fun things that I've been talking with everybody in the community is some of the co-op adventures that have gone on. And I think it's such a fun and enjoyable aspect of the streaming community, because sure, like, people have their streamers that they like, but I think when you have these co-ops, it gives you the opportunity to find new people that maybe you didn't know, or if you did know everybody, to get to see like a bunch of your friends doing something collaborative together. That's just a ton of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how I met a lot of people, was through Cal and through all the co-op games that we played, the Lethal Company, the Content Warning, the what else? There were so many co-op games that I'm drawing a blank on, but I've met Indy, I've met Zine, I've met obviously Tay, I've met you guys, I've met Holly, I've met Ross, I've met all these people through all these co-op games, and I love playing co-op. I love like playing Fortnite, playing Overwatch, playing Content Warning, playing all this stuff. And I think having those co-op streams, I think really helps to boost engagement with your community, as well as just fostering friendships and relationships and connections with people, because the more connections you make, the further your reach goes. So I think it's fantastic, and it's one of my favorite things, and I just love watching people play co-op games as well. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun because there's so much more going on, and there's so much more to pay attention to. And like I said, you get to meet new people, and I love doing that. I love meeting new people. I love meeting new friends. So.
For sure. I mean, I greatly enjoyed getting involved in Among Us with the group, although yes. I still think that it's hilarious that anybody even thought that I was the imposter at any point, because I'm like, if I was the imposter, I don't even know that I'd know what I was doing. Like, I probably wouldn't get anybody, because I'd be in a corner somewhere like, I don't know where I am.
Where's the body? Beats me. Beats me. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know where I'm at. I know that whenever I'm imposter, it's like I have the opportunity, but what if someone comes up and sees me? What if they're gonna know? They're gonna know it was me. Like, what happens? And it's just like, I don't do anything, and I'm just so scared, because like, what happens if they catch me? I'm not a very good liar. So like, I don't want to do anything that's gonna get me. Like, so I get scared I'm an imposter, because it's just like, I'm not good at lying. I can't talk my way. I talked my way out of one. And I don't know how I did it, but I talked my way out of one particular situation, and it was like, and we had won that one. So, but yeah, Among Us, that night was great. I love that night.
What's funny is that Among Us is such a unique game in a lot of ways, and I think like one of those is because much like Fortnite, it is a game for a wide range of ages. Surprisingly, even though there is a heavy element of murder in Among Us, but
There's a lot.
my 8-year-old, thinks that like it's funny to watch her play because she will like straight up get somebody with like somebody in view watching and then go into the thing and be like, I don't know what you saw, I didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, that's how they get started with the manipulation and the gaslighting. Like, I don't know, I didn't do anything, I don't know, you must be seeing things. You get them started young.
Yeah, I guess that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm curious, like just with Twitch as a whole, because I mean, it's been around for a long time, and obviously there's been, some people that have been streaming a lot longer than others, but I think it's interesting to see like where this has come as a platform, because there's some people that, solely use Twitch. There's some people that have kind of ventured into the YouTube space. But what do you think about kind of the differences there between using Twitch as a medium versus branching into YouTube? Because I guess it depends on the following, but I don't know that like you necessarily gain that much more by going the YouTube route.
I don't think you really do. When you're starting out, I personally, I tried doing the YouTube. I've tried uploading my VODs to YouTube, and I didn't really see a whole lot of engagement on YouTube. So I think just sticking to one medium when you're starting out, I think would be better in the long run. And then eventually you can start branching out to other platforms, Kick, YouTube, whatever, Facebook, whatever else is out there. But I didn't really see a whole lot of engagement from the YouTube side of things. And YouTube, or Twitch rather, allows certain things that YouTube doesn't. So you have to be very careful as to what kind of content you're putting out, what kind of music you're playing, because it may be allowed on Twitch, but it's not going to be allowed on YouTube. YouTube is very strict with their guidelines and all that. So I think sticking to one medium, Twitch is like the go-to for so many people as they're starting out. They want to stream on Twitch. And I think, Twitch is a little bit more lenient in certain ways, in certain aspects than like YouTube is. And like I said, I've tried, and I never really got anything. So I kind of stopped for a bit, and then I don't know, maybe I'll put stuff on YouTube again. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird the way that it works. You never know how the algorithm is going to balance out. So it's kind of a guessing game at times.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I haven't asked this question to anybody else, so I'm going to give you the hard question.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go.
For you.
I'm ready for it.
What do you think, like, in terms of getting people interested in your channel? Do you think that it is more dependent on the streamer and the personality of the streamer and how much people like that person? Or do you think that it's more dependent on the type of games that they play?
I think it can be a mix of both. Like what drew me to Cal was his personality. That he was funny. He was, he was goofy. He was having, he has the best laugh. I love listening to him laugh. But that was what we're doing. And he always says hello to every single person that comes in. He remembers things about people when they come in. And that's so important. It helps people feel welcome in their community, because like you can say hello and it's like, oh, hey, by the way, I heard that, I heard that you started up this game here. Like, how's that going? And it's like, I can't even remember that I told you that, and it's like, but it helps people feel welcome, so I think it's a mix of both. But I think it leans more towards the streamer's personality, because if you're welcoming, if you're warm and generous and you're kind, and like if you remember certain things about people, it makes them feel good. It draws them in further, because like, hey, this guy really wants to get to like know me. I really want to be his friend. So I think it's a bit of both. Like the content as well can be very entertaining depending on what you're playing, whether it's like a co-op game like Content Warning, which is hilarious to play, or if you're playing like Overcooked or just even Among Us or whatever kind of co-op playing game you're playing, can also be very entertaining. But I also think it's more reliant on the streamer as well. I think it's having that kind of personality to draw people in, that charismatic energy, I think really is what makes people stay. They come for the content, but they stay for you, is kind of what I think it is. And it's kind of what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to keep up with the trends on Twitch and see what people are playing and see what people want to see played, but also just trying to be as outgoing as I can and try and remember, what's going on with people outside of Twitch, because again, that helps, that makes people feel really good and feel welcome and feel like they're really a part of this community. So I think it relies more on the streamer end than the content end.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, because if there's something that I've learned in my couple years of doing the podcast, is that most people out there, no matter who they are, what they're interested in, whatever the case may be, most people just want to be seen and feel like they're being acknowledged as a person for the things that they like and who they are. And so I think, if a streamer can do that, I think that it's really important. And which is why I personally tend to gravitate towards the streamers that do that, and not just somebody who has 1,000 people in their chat and I'm probably never going to get a mention at all. I think the more people that are in the chat, I think would be more difficult, but people that people feel validated as well when they come in and the streamer is acknowledging them and saying, hey, and how are you, and how's this going, and I heard that this was happening, and all that, and which it's a very important aspect of, I think, being an entertaining streamer, because you can be in someone's stream and say hello, and then your message could get lost in hundreds of other messages. Exactly. Not that people who have people who have a ton of people in their chat, they obviously that's great and they can't control that, but it's still nice when the effort is made, because as everybody knows, I am a huge fan of Felicia Day, and
absolutely,
occasionally she does stream, and one of the times that I decided to watch her, I said something in the chat and she actually mentioned Pokey Doll, and she mentioned the comment that I said, and I was like,
oh my god, it's you get the heart racing, and it's we're this much closer to getting married, Felicia.
It's not, it really is nice when people do that. It makes you feel special and appreciated.
It does. Yeah, it does. And I try to, it's good vibes. It's good vibes all around. I try to spread the good vibes and the positivity around and make people feel good and make people want to stay, not just for the content, but for me as well, right? So that's what I'm trying to foster as well, is a community that stays for me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, aside from just that, growing the community, do you have any particular goals for your channel, that you're trying to reach, or things that you want to do?
So they're not necessary. I would love to have a few more subscribers to get that, just to say that I have some under my belt. And but my main goal is to definitely grow the community, definitely get more people in the Discord, and to get more people chatting, and just to spread the good vibes and the positivity and the self-love and all of that to as many people as I possibly can. Because there's a lot going on in the world right now, and if Twitch is where you go to kind of escape from that, I want to be a safe space for you to escape to, and for you to feel welcome, and to just vibe out and just kind of forget what's going on, just for a few hours. So that's my main goal, is to kind of spread all that kind of that good vibes and positivity and stuff to as many people as I can.
I mean, that's a great goal. That's really, I think that's a big part of what gaming is. It's that real sense of escapism and taking yourself to a different place. I mean, I know probably one of my favorite things to do when I'm just stressed and I need to refocus is just play a mindless game like Power Wash Simulator and just
Power Wash is good.
Power wash all of my feelings out as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, so you just zone right out. It's like tunnel vision. It's just like, gotta get this clean, and it's good escape for, you know, even just for an hour or so, to kind of, you know, just veg out, just kind of be nothing, just sit there and just do nothing. You don't have to do anything. You just power wash. Okay, so
get your quick little hits of serotonin.
Exactly. You got to get them where you can, because they're in short supply with some people some days. But yeah, you gotta get that serotonin in for sure.
Yes, that is true. You know, and I guess like probably one of the last things that I want to talk about, because I think it is, you know, again, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but like a challenge for gamers is that when you are kind of dealing with things in personal life, that while games are an escape, having to be like forward facing and talking to people, sometimes it's hard to do that and like mask whatever else is going on in your life. I mean, do you find that like being able to stream and like play games is a way for you to forget about that stuff, or do you find it challenging at times to have to like talk to people and put on this face when maybe inside you're not feeling as good?
It's a little difficult for me because I know back in April I was having kind of a severe mental health crisis. I was admitted to the hospital for a few days, and when I came out, I was just like, I have to get my life back in order. I have to, you know, be me again. And sometimes I was okay to stream, other times it was just too much. But I needed a hobby. I needed several hobbies to keep me busy, to keep my mind busy, to keep my hands busy. So I ended up picking up crochet. I ended up picking up gardening. I have a lot of plants. I have a whole plant shelf over here with like 17 house plants on them. And then streaming was another one. Lately, I've been going through another kind of, you know, work, personal life thing. Haven't been let go of my job, and that really took me out. That one was tough to handle, because it was a job that I was in for almost 2 years, and it was a job that I loved so much, and it hurt so much to be let go of it. But typically I do find it very difficult to kind of put on a brave face and stream, and it's caused a lot of issues because I feel guilty for saying that I'm going to stream and then not streaming because I'm just not in the right headspace for it, or I'm just not, you know, physically well. So it's difficult to put on that brave face. But lately I've been doing much better since then. So I'm definitely get back into the swing of things, changing up my schedule, and, you know, just get back into streaming because I miss it. I love streaming. And when you're not in a good headspace, it can be tough to, you know, to mask it, because it's like, because I don't mask very well. People would be able to tell that I'm not in a good spot. So, you know, I always just, if I'm not in a good spot, I'm not streaming that day. So, but then I start feeling even worse because the guilt. It's like, oh, I'm going to stream today, and then like I can't, and then so yeah, it's difficult. It's tough.
I understand. It's a very cyclical thing, because it's like you don't feel up to it, but then you feel bad for not being up to it. And I understand that so much.
Yeah.
But this community definitely loves you, and
I love it. I love this community. This community has, I don't want to be dramatic, but I would say this community has saved my life, because I always look forward to everybody streaming. I always, you know, especially since I mod for so many people now. But I'm there to help, I'm there to protect, I'm there for the good vibes and the fun and the laughter. And I've met so many kind and generous people, and just people that I care about so much, and I know that care about me. So that was kind of what helped me get out of the funk that I was in. And because just looking forward to talking to everybody was what kept me going. My family was what kept me going. My plants, my animals, all of that. But this community was a huge part of that as well. So it's a little dramatic to say, but I think this community saved my life, because I just look forward to interacting with everybody every day. I'm always there every day.
Yes. And I know everybody's thankful for that. Now, if people want to check you out and follow you, let everybody who's watching know where they can do that.
I am on several different platforms. I am on Twitter. I am on Instagram. I have a Facebook group. You can always find me on Twitch, and I do have a YouTube as well. And I have a Discord. I have a Discord channel as well. So
I didn't even know this.
I have a Discord. It's called the Ivy League. Back when my name was Ivory, Ivy Goddess, and then I came out as pansexual and non-binary. So I wanted something more neutral. So that's why I changed it to Divinity of Ivory. But I still keep the Ivory, like the Ivy, the plant life, the plant mom. I say so. It's called the Ivy League, which I thought was so funny when I first thought it up. But yeah, I have my own Discord channel.
Awesome. Well, I love it. People check it out, follow Ivory, see what they are up to, which is exciting. And as far as this channel, please make sure that you like, subscribe, follow, all of that, because we're working towards building our subscriber base as well. And thank you again, and we will see everybody next time on the show.
Subscribe. It's free and it helps.